things that I know, and I'm constantly telling people, is that, there are only four things that we can really control ourselves. Yeah. And we talk about this whole thing of wanting to be in control. And I believe we just control what we think, what we say, how we feel, and how we behave. Yeah. How we act. And so we know that the leader cannot control other people's behaviors. However, the leader can create an environment in which the individual chooses to engage. So how does the New World Leadership Program help individuals to kind of understand what you're saying there, that concept of being accountable for their own behavior and their own actions and their own thoughts and their own feelings?
Yeah, this is such a good conversation because
I love it.
well, yeah, it's fascinating because what happens is when we're facilitating, we're working with either senior executives or directors and managers, we'll ask the question of how many of you feel responsible for the outcomes and behaviors and results of your team, and both
Mm,
hands go up.
mm,
Well, as long as the manager is holding on to that responsibility and accountability, why would the employees take it?
right.
What
Yeah.
happens is we create these accidental cultures where the victim mentality can thrive. Because if
Mm,
you take away accountability and responsibility for people, and you live by this motto of, I will hold you accountable, which is impossible to do. You can't hold someone else. The only way, here's what's interesting. The only way to hold someone accountable to the results they get is through carrot and stick. It's the only
yeah.
way. And we know that's broken and doesn't work.
Yes.
So what we want to do is create a culture that says, what I want to do is move the responsibility from here to exactly where it belongs, which is across the desk to the
Yeah.
person I'm speaking with. And so we have all these tools and techniques in the accountability model that allows leaders to practice new skills, to shift their mindset, but also shift their emotions around performance, as well as their behavior. As you say, they can only control how they show up in the world.
Mm,
So most of the work we do with leaders is how do they develop a deep and meaningful relationship with
selves.
themselves
Mm,
and get really comfortable with that really important relationship in order to then have the meaningful conversation with their colleagues, their team members, their direct reports to say, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to solve that? How can I support you in solving that? And
mm,
it's a reframe in the way that we have conversations. And I know there's a lot of stuff around coaching conversations and all that. The
mm.
problem, the traditional kind of coaching conversations, when we go in and teach leaders how to coach, the problem is we don't focus on them. We focus on how do you ask good questions. So what happens is the leader goes in and asks all these questions, but they fundamentally haven't done their own work.
Work. Yeah.
And your employees, they are so smart. I mean, they can smell it a mile away, right? So authenticity and being able to do the work yourself as a leader allows you to then move that accountability to the other side of the desk. And there's very specific tools to do that. It isn't actually, it isn't hard, but there's no free lunch. You have to practice. You have to do the work.
Yes. I really love that concept because I agree with you, the carrot and stick. I mean, the stick is obviously we're really trying to disintegrate the stick in business because that does just drive fear. And the carrot might improve performance for a period of time, but it's unsustainable. It's like, yeah, I got that, fantastic. But then where's the next carrot and the next carrot and the next carrot?